guys, what is going on? Welcome back to another video. Hope all of you guys are having an awesome day. Now, ever since I posted the final video for the DIY Widebody series, the most commented modification to do to the M3 Next is a front splitter. Now, I've been piecing different ideas together for a little while now, since while I was building the Widebody kit, and I think I've got all the pieces together now. So today I'm going to be making the front splitter for the M3. First thing I'm going to do is go ahead and measure from the ends of both of the front bumper pieces. That way I know what I'm working with and I can get the dimensions for the splitter. Alright, so this is something I've had for a while. It is a piece of foam board that I'd gotten from Lowe's and cut out a rough shape, basically to kind of eyeball what a splitter would look like on the car while I was building the Widebody kit. Now I'm just going to use it as a quick guide to see how it looks with the fenders on the car. Alright, well, I'm pretty happy with the basic shape of the splitter so far. Again, this is just foam board, it's not the final product, but it gives me an idea of where I want the splitter to be. Alright, so I've had the front crash bar off for a little while now, and I've been thinking my way through exactly how I'm going to make a mount for the splitter to attach to. Now I'm going to be using this 90-degree metal here to add a little bit of rigidity to that mount. So what will happen is I'll take a piece here, and it'll go straight down, this 90-degree will go straight down, and then that's where the splitter will attach to. But what I'm also going to do is weld in a plate so that it hits all the points here, and it's nice and sturdy, nice and rigid, and it's flush against where the bash bar mounts to the frame here. But I'm going to go ahead and get to work on that, and I'll show you guys what it looks like. Alright, so after welding the two pieces together, grinding down the weld, and throwing some paint on here, it's all put together and ready to go back onto the car. So I'm going to go ahead and stick both of these pieces back on, and then throw the bash bar back on, put the bumper on, and then that way I can start mocking out the splitter and work on making the mounts to attach to this piece. Alright, so as you guys can see, the bumper is back onto the car with the brackets firmly attached behind it. So now all I have to do is worry about the shape of the splitter, and then I can get into building the brackets that will attach the splitter to the brackets that attach to the frame rails. Now, both sides of this board are not symmetrical, so what I'm going to do is actually go ahead and cut the piece in half, take the piece that I think is the closest to what I want the final shape to be, and move that piece over to a piece of cardboard, and then flip it over, and that way I have a mirror image of exactly what I want my splitter to look like, and that's what I can use as a template for when I go ahead and cut out my splitter out of the material that I'm going to use. So that's what I'm going to work on next. Alright, so I finished cutting the cardboard template up and went ahead and mocked it up on the car. Let me show you guys what it looks like. Alright, so here it is right now. The edges are bent up a little bit just to give me a good idea of how it's going to look when it's done. It's fairly aggressive. So yeah, so that's it. And now I've got to transfer it over to my board. Alright, so here's what I'm going to be using to build my splitter out of. This is a 1/4 inch thick piece of ABS plastic. The idea here is to take my template, stick it on top of here, just like this. So I'm going to go ahead and get to tracing this, and then I can start worrying about cutting it. Alright, well, as you guys saw, after lots of cutting and sanding, shaving the edges down, and then finally taking some heat to bend up the front and the edges, it is finally into a shape that I'm happy with. So here it is. I've got the edges on either side flipping up a little bit. I've got the center flipping up a little bit. This is where I'm at so far. So next step is to build the actual frame on the splitter so it can attach to the frame rails in the car and those brackets that I had built. And then I can get this thing mounted and nice and secure. Alright, so after building the frame for the splitter, welding it together and everything, and getting it screwed into the splitter, it is now mounted onto the car. Obviously very aggressive, but there's nothing holding it on right now as far as no jack stands underneath it. And this is kind of a weird angle because, you know, obviously the car doesn't sit this high normally, but yeah, so I like it. Now obviously you can kind of see the frame in the front bumper a little bit. That's because I haven't painted it yet. Now as far as the other mounting points for the splitter, I'm going to be using riv nuts. So what I'm going to do is put in a total of 4 riv nuts into the front bumper. So it should be pretty sturdy. So I'm going to go ahead and get to work on drilling and then get the riv nuts in. Alright, so the frame is finished drying, so that's all painted black. The splitter over here, I'm just going to clean it up real quick and then put the frame back onto the splitter, and then I can go ahead and attach the splitter to the front of the car. I went ahead and attached the rods here. I measured them out so they're pretty even. Got them tightened up on the front, and they're going to be angled just a little bit, just the way I want it. So time to put the splitter on one last time. Alright guys, well here it is. The car finally has a front splitter. This is exactly how I imagined the car when I first decided to build my own wide body kit for it. With the 1M bumper, the splitter just kind of ties it all together and it makes that bumper not look so out of place on the E46. The fender flares, everything just combines to make something that I'm really proud of and really happy driving down the street. And I think it looks awesome. As far as the material, I think it works out really well. The mounting points that I have on the splitter hold it in really nicely. I mean, if I come over here and, I mean, it's not going anywhere. I'm really happy with how solid the splitter is. The ABS was a little bit more flimsy than I was hoping it would be, but like I said, I think it came out okay and I think it's going to do the job just fine. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoy the front splitter as much as I do and think it looks as awesome as I do, because I'm super happy, if you could not tell. But I'm going to go ahead and end the video here. Thank you guys so very much for watching. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure you give it a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. And then also, if you guys have not already, make sure you subscribe to my channel. That way you guys can stay up to date with what's going on with the M3. I will catch you guys in the next video. Have an awesome day.